4 states' most watched news starts now.
Communities are rallying to help find a new place of worship for the Knoll, Missouri Islamic community. This is KOAM News at 10. On December 28th, a fire destroyed the Knoll Mosque, the central meeting place for the area's Muslim community. The fire also damaged the adjoining African grocery store. So the Joplin Islamic Society and the Bentonville Islamic Center in Arkansas have been raising funds to help the community. In just a week, donations have climbed to $82,000. Naveed Zaidi, one of the board members with the Joplin Islamic Society, say they got involved because they know how hard it is to lose a place of worship.
We share that loss with them because the Joplin community also lost their mosque in a fire 8 years ago. So Knoll is our sister community, and this loss is very close to our heart.
Fundraising goal is $100,000. The immediate plan is to find a space in Knoll that the community can rent until a full mosque can be rebuilt. Authorities have filed charges against a Joplin woman involved in a crash that killed 2 people. That crash happened on 28th and Connecticut in Joplin yesterday afternoon. Investigators say 30-year-old Rita Glasgow was intoxicated when she drove a reportedly stolen pickup through a stop sign and hit the side of an SUV. 2 people in that SUV were killed. They are 55-year-old Terry Koppel and 48-year-old Rhonda Koppel, both of Joplin. Glasgow was hospitalized in serious condition. Authorities filed various charges against Glasgow, including driving while intoxicated, death of 2 or more, possession of a controlled substance, and tampering with a motor vehicle. Glasgow previously had active warrants for tampering with a motor vehicle and drug trafficking. More than 29 years after the disappearance of a woman in Cherokee County, Kansas, the reward is increased for information that leads to the recovery of her remains. Carol Sullins was 18 years old when she disappeared from the Galena nightclub where she worked back in August of 1991. In 2002, Donald Kidwell was sentenced for his role in Sullins' death as part of a plea agreement, but Sullins' remains were never found. Well, now a private donor has increased the reward to $20,000 for information that leads to those remains. Tips should go to the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office. A judge sentences a former Carl Junction, Missouri school bus driver who had sexual contact with a student. As part of a plea deal, Dennis Frakes gets a 4-year prison term. Frakes had told investigators that beginning in 2015, while working as a bus driver, he had sexual contact with a 15-year-old Carl Junction High School student. Doug Heddy joins us now with a first look at the weather.
It was a pretty good day. We had partly sunny skies, temperatures fantastic. Cold start, 26, 51 for a high, average high is 44, so a good chunk above where we should be. And we still have clear skies across the region for us right now. And that's what we're going to see tonight. There's a slight chance we could get a little bit of patchy fog in here later on tonight, but in general, it looks pretty good. It is cold. Most of us 32 to about 36, 37 degrees. We'll drop back into the mid to upper 30s or 20s later on tonight. It was a little breezy earlier today. The winds have died down just a bit, so a north wind at 5 to 10. But these are going to crank around out of the south for us tomorrow, and that's going to help us warm up. After a cold start, 35 by 9, 51 by noon, even warmer tomorrow as we go all the way up to about 56 degrees. Then changes. Rain rolls in, even some snow chances. We'll look at that here in a bit.
All right, we'll catch you then. Thanks, Doug. The Missouri Veterans Commission asked for an external review to investigate the cause of a prolonged outbreak of COVID-19 at Missouri veteran homes, and now that review has been released. Since the release, the chairman of the commission has resigned. In September, the veterans homes operated by the Missouri Veterans Commission experienced a prolonged outbreak of COVID-19. As of November 13th, there had been 103 deaths. So the commission requested an independent investigation into the cause and the commission's response. The investigation found that at the state level, the MVC failed to recognize the outbreak, failed to plan for an extensive outbreak, and failed to respond to the outbreak. Locally, at the Mount Vernon home, the report noted the home had instituted many positive practices and that at the time of the outbreak, the report, the outbreak was contained to the isolation unit. However, it also noted 3 key deficiencies, saying there are concerns regarding the practices of the Mount Vernon home that may have contributed to the spread of COVID-19 among its veterans and staff. The MVC sent a statement saying it had already started taking corrective actions. The full statement and the full 415-page report are in this story on our website at koamnewsnow.com. The Crawford County, Kansas Health Department reports a couple more COVID-19 related deaths. One of the deaths happened last Wednesday and the other happened today. The county now has a total of 33 deaths. A community college in Chanute, Kansas fails their entire nursing program. 22 students at the Mary Grimes School of Nursing in Neosho County Community College failed in the program. After receiving emails from our viewers, we reached out to the school, which sent us a statement from the president, Brian Inbody. It says in part, quote, NCCC and the Mary Grimes School of Nursing is taking this matter very seriously. We've established a process and a timeline to hopefully agreeably resolve the immediate situation for the students and provide a long-term plan for program improvements at the LPN level in Chanute. Something like this has never happened before in the decades-long history of Mary Grimes School of Nursing, and we will ensure that doesn't happen again, end quote. The school has not told us why the students failed, if they failed out of the entire program, or what course of action those students have now. We also reached out to a student who says they don't want to comment publicly at this time, but they did confirm that it involved the entire class. We've reached out to the Kansas Board of Regents and Kansas Board of Nursing for further details, but have not yet heard back. The Joplin City Council tonight approved a resolution that creates guidelines for how the council will consider employee pay raises. The council says the resolution helps to establish the commitment and necessity to maintain market competitive pay for city employees.
It's not binding. It's not something that's necessarily set in stone. Again, it's just a document that gives us guidance about compensation. Compensation is a sensitive issue. It's an important issue, and so this spells out kind of things we can do to help be in a good position in regards to city compensation.
With the start of the new year, plenty of people are setting fitness goals as part of their resolution, but the pandemic has changed the way a lot of people are choosing to work out. KOAM's Kate Kelly shares how a Joplin gym is adapting to help people meet their goals from home.
During lockdown, gyms closed, prompting more people to look into workouts they could do from the comfort of their own home to beat the quarantine blues.
It's definitely helped me to get out of the funk of being stuck inside. And Olivia's really good. Her trainings are just really good about getting your mindset.
Olivia Lotvin teaches workouts online through Altered Gym. She offers several plans for people based on their needs and what they have on hand.
We have a lot of people that have just been stuck at home and they haven't gotten sick, but they don't have any dumbbells. So how can we assist them so that they still feel like they're doing the things to keep them mentally and physically healthy?
Another perk that comes with these online workouts is flexibility.
Most gyms, are open for a certain amount of hours. And so the time of the day fitting into my schedule is the best part for me.
Of course, the gym is still open for anyone who wants to come in. Social distancing and masks are required, but the pandemic and technology has opened up a new way of exercising.
It's been super awesome to just see how well it's taken, how many people have been interested in learning more and doing more and going outside of their comfort zone.
I do go to the gym here and there, but not I do more workouts at home, and I think that'll be what I stick to.
In Joplin, Kate Kelly, KOAM News.
More people are investing in home gyms. According to eBay sales data, between March and April of 2020, online sales of fitness equipment increased up to 20 times compared to the same time frame last year. If you'd like to learn more about Altered's online programs, check out the link in this article on our website, again, koamnewsnow.com. Still ahead, the president-elect and the president hit the campaign trail in a last-minute effort to turn out voters ahead of the Georgia Senate runoffs tomorrow, and a rescue on the Hawaiian surf caught on camera. With control of the Senate hanging in the balance, President Trump and President-elect Biden head to Georgia to turn out the vote before the state Senate runoff election tomorrow. Skylar Henry spoke to Georgia voters and reports from Atlanta.
President-elect Joe Biden spoke in Atlanta, urging Democrats to vote in Tuesday's Senate runoff election.
One state can chart the course, not just for the next 4 years, but for the next generation.
While Vice President Mike Pence made a stop in Milner to rally Republicans to get to the polls.
Friends don't let friends vote alone. Bring a family member, bring a neighbor.
We have to hold the line here in Georgia. We are literally the firewall to stopping socialism.
Senator Kelly Loeffler campaigned this morning, while Senator David Perdue, who is in quarantine, appeared on television.
I believe that Georgia is going to stand up in record numbers tomorrow.
Their Democratic challengers, John Ossoff and the Reverend Raphael Warnock, rallied together, hoping to capitalize on the state's shifting demographics.
The whole country is watching us right now because we have the power, Georgia.
Their worst nightmare is if people show up and vote. So show up and vote.
President-elect Biden won Georgia, the first Democratic presidential candidate to do so since 1992, although President Trump continues to insist without proof he won the state. In a phone call over the weekend, President Trump expressed concerns Republicans who are angry over those results won't go back to the polls. But Georgians we spoke to across the state and here in Atlanta say that they're motivated and amped to vote.
If we don't get out here and vote Perdue and Loeffler back in here, we're going to lose America.
We have to do it again. Don't be tired. This is no time to be tired or to say, oh, my vote's not going to count. It will count.
And they're encouraging fellow Georgians to join them and the more than 3 million others who voted early to make their voices heard in this runoff election. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Atlanta.
The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says there have been specific threats against tomorrow's election. It says it's investigating along with federal, state, and local partners. Doug Hetty is up next with his complete forecast. And a little bit later, a surfer abandons his plans to hang 10 and turns to a rescue mission.
It definitely turned out to be a great Monday for us today. We've warmed up a bit over the past couple days. We got rid of all the snow, all the ice across the region. Even though it was very pretty, the trees weren't very happy about the ice, but it was very pretty for a couple days. And now kind of back to normal. Great shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course. Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. So what do we have to come? Tomorrow's going to be great. Next storm system Wednesday and Thursday. Rain could give us even a little bit of snow. We'll cool back down with that system. We have a weak system on Sunday that we'll keep our eyes on. And of course, you can always get my long range forecast on my month-long blog. That is KOAMnewsnow.com. Look at our highs. Most of us went near 50, if not into the lower 50s during the afternoon. And it's cold out there now. It's going to be another cold night. It's not extremely cold. Chanute 34, 34, Veneta Grove, much of the same. Carthage 37 at the freezing point in Nevada. And we had kind of brisk northwest winds earlier today. These have kind of diminished a bit. They're going to crank out at the south for us as we work into the daytime hours tomorrow, and that's going to help us warm back up. Clear skies across the region. Any clouds we had earlier today with a weak little system now off toward the east. So if we look out west, here's our next storm system. It's fairly weak. Right across the Pacific Northwest. It's going to kind of slide over the Rockies and then spin in, and it's actually a pretty slow mover, so it's going to be on top of us for a couple days. At least tonight's going to be okay. I do think we may get a little bit of patchy fog in here, but most of us look okay. Just a cold start, down to 26. Westerly winds 5 to 10. Switch out of the south for us tomorrow. 51 by noon. High temperature looks great, 56 during the afternoon. In fact, from west to east, everybody is going to be into the mid, if not upper 50s. Here's that next storm system. Out across the Pacific Northwest. Watch what happens. Kind of slides over the Rockies, then it drops in, and it just kind of pivots over us. So it takes about 2.5 days to actually pass on by. So it's going to give us rain. It's even going to give us some snow chances by the time we head into Thursday. So let's move into tomorrow night. We have the clouds, may get a few showers in here late tomorrow night, and then rain picks up on Wednesday. It's not going to be heavy. It's going to be light rain, just kind of a light, cold rain. We sit into the 40s. Rain continues, especially on the Missouri side. Here's Wednesday evening. Let's go into Wednesday night about midnight. Temps drop into the mid-30s. You start to see a little pink, a little blue mixing in. That's a little rain-snow mix, and then could even switch over to all snow Thursday morning. Temperatures would be above freezing. It would be a very wet snow and kind of sticks around Thursday, mixing with a little bit of rain. So something we're going to watch over the next couple days as that system rolls in. But ahead of it, tomorrow looks great. 46 on Wednesday. Our rain chances will increase through the day. So the driest part of the day is going to be in the morning. Then our chances for rain really increase during the afternoon and then into Wednesday night, and then kind of slowly tapering off by Thursday afternoon. Friday and Saturday look good. A weak little system on Sunday could give us a few snow flurries, but staying kind of cool. Good weekend, stay inside, watch some playoff football. It's crazy, 3 games a day. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, 2 triple headers on Saturday and Sunday. I'm going to love it. Chiefs aren't playing, but this will be fun.
Absolutely.
Still ahead, caught on camera, a Hawaiian surfer springs to action to help a woman caught in rough surf. A professional surfer hit the waves in Hawaii on New Year's Eve, but not to hang 10. He sprang into action to help save a woman stuck in strong surf. Reporter Elise Preston shows us the daring rescue caught on camera.
24-year-old pro surfer Mikey Wright asked a friend to hold his phone and his beer and made a run toward the pounding surf on Oahu's North Shore.
Oh no!
He initially began recording a group trying to help a woman caught in a 15-foot swell. She had been out on the rocks when the surge snapped her up.
I realized, well, this is actually really dangerous, and I actually started to feel bad for filming.
Wright dashed into the water while his sister Tyler, also a professional surfer, helped steer the rescue from the shoreline.
It's really important when it comes to ocean safety and rescues to, when someone goes in, to have someone kind of direct on the beach, because situations can change instantly.
Wright is seen struggling a little when he first enters the water, but was confident he could save the woman.
When I got to her, I just said, hey, we're going to be okay. We're going to get in, and, it's okay. I said, don't let go of me, and we'll be okay.
The Wrights say the woman appeared to have no major injuries.
I think she was just very, very thankful and also at the same time in a little bit of shock.
Wright was praised for his heroic efforts, but says the real reward was seeing the woman safely reunited with her family. Elise Preston, CBS News.
Wow, the Wrights are maintaining the woman's privacy and said they received a thank you card from her the next day. I would hope so. The IRS is asking people to not call their offices with questions about the latest round of economic impact or stimulus payments. The agency is instead telling people to go to their website, irs.gov, for more information. Officials say many people have been calling IRS offices, but the phone operators don't have any additional information beyond what's available at irs.gov. Final look at the weather up next. Take some time now to honor a local veteran, Harvey Richardson. The Joplin native served in the U.S. Army during World War II. And we are proud to salute Harvey Richardson. He's tonight's 4th state hero. More than 300 million people, that's how many folks flew in 2020. Although about half of those travelers flew during the first 3 months of the year before the coronavirus pandemic set in. It's a 61% drop from 2019, but still, it's a good chunk of people considering months of public health guidance to not travel. The new tally comes on the heels of a pandemic air travel record that was set on Sunday. On that day alone, more than 1.3 million people passed through TSA checkpoints at airports all across the country. Productivity on the first workday of the new year was hampered for some employees as Slack suffered a major outage today. Slack's status page showed that its messaging and connections functionality were impacted by a technical issue. The workplace communication platform confirmed the service interruption this morning. Slack said in part, quote, customers may experience issues connecting to Slack to loading channels at this time. The company said it was working on the issue and continues to provide updates. The New York Stock Exchange plans to end trading with 3 of the largest state-owned telecom companies in China. The NYSE says this move comes in order to comply with President Trump's order that bans the U.S. from investing with firms officials believe are owned or controlled by China's military. The 3 suspended firms are China Mobile, China Telecom, and China Unicorn. In a statement Saturday, China's Ministry of Commerce said it'll take necessary measures to protect the interests of its companies. All 3 of those entities have traded on Wall Street for many years. The suspension goes into effect on January 11th. Shareholders for Fiat Chrysler and French automaker PSA Group approved a merger today. The new company will be called Stellantis and employ a total of 400,000 people. It'll form the 4th largest car maker by volume in the world, with more than a dozen brands. Fiat Chrysler is contributing brands such as Maserati, Jeep, and Ram, while PSA brings Peugeot, Citroën, and Opel to the table. Merging is projected to yield more than $6 billion in cost savings. The new company will be based in the Netherlands. Let's check back with Doug now for a final look at the weather.
Well, it's going to be cold tonight, but it's going to be fine. 26 degrees, pretty much clear skies. A little bit of patchy fog late tonight. 56 tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a fantastic day. Rain moves in on Wednesday. It's not going to be heavy. It's just going to be kind of a light, persistent rain, and then mixing with and even changing over to some snow by the time we head into Thursday. We clear out just in time for the weekend. It's going to stay kind of chilly, and then a few snow showers by Sunday.
But tomorrow, a high of 56, and we'll see the sun. We'll take it. Thanks. And thank you for joining us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.